Holy shit, guys. I cannot remember the last time I had a fucking triple feature day. If I've ever have at all. Maybe two, but never three, I think. But anyway, that's not the fucking point here. Coming here to give you guys a news update. I was gonna actually do this message in the next video tomorrow. I was gonna tag it at the end. But I got a pretty good response from Snapchat and the messages I put up on Facebook mentioning feature videos. No, I did this a long time ago. I did something along these lines, but I think that to help things out, we're going to make this a little bit more specific because I didn't realize that it was kind of going to be a messy problem. Okay, how do I get this out? How do I say it properly? Okay, so for me to do a feature, this is me directing other people here watching the channel to whatever build you got going on. I could, redirect your Instagram and all that stuff, but, the chances of somebody going and following your Instagram are slim. A couple reasons for that being that IG, for most people, even if you do post project stuff, unless you're doing it on Instagram specifically for that project, you're going to have a mixture, a whole bunch of random selfies and pictures of shit that are random as fuck. So people have to go to your Instagram and kind of sift through that and find random pictures of pistons or rods, and that doesn't very much hold people's attention, which is why that you see that it's extremely rare for me to post anything personal on my Instagram. It's usually just stuff pertaining to the channel. So if you have an Instagram account that's specifically set for that project, then by all means, give me that and I'll link that and that'll be known. For another way for me to do the feature is, I guess, yes, you could send me a personal video yourself talking about it, and I'll get that video and I'll splice it in with whatever I'm going to say, and then we could go through like that. Or if you you've got a forum fucking page started up somewhere, like if you have a forum that you're listing the details of your build, what your goal is, parts list and pictures, then that's something I can point to, I can talk about and show you there and show people there. Or if you got like a YouTube channel that you want featured, that I can talk about your channel and show people that. But for me to do YouTube features, for channel features, it's kind of better if you have a specific topic that your channel focuses on. Then that way I can talk about that channel as a whole being about that and take the pros and cons from what I see there. I can give you some tips, what I think works, what I think don't work. You can follow it or not, and I can show it off a little bit. So there's that, all right, and I'm definitely down to do this. Like I said, I'm probably going to do a whole week of features after the whole H&F thing is done. I'm going to finish that up, and then I got 3 already promised. I've got four or five other people right now that are interested in this, and I could definitely, if the topic is already preset for me, it's very easy. So I could have an upload every single day of the week next week. Next week, assuming that that's when the H&F series is going to be finished, which I do believe will be the case. All right, so if you don't have a very solid place or a solid spot where you can go that talks about a particular project you got going on or whatnot, then yeah, I guess you could send me a little video talking about what your goals are, what your plans are about with the build, what your parts and all that stuff is, and I can feature it there. Although I will say that I'm not looking, this isn't necessarily about high horsepower cars, and it doesn't necessarily have to be about Honda. It just has to be interesting. We got to try and keep it mixed up, keep it a little bit beyond the norm, or beyond, well, I guess if you want an idea, if you're looking at your project and you think you want something to talk about there, you could pick up one of the tuner magazines, or you don't even have to get the magazine. You can go to like superstreet.com and just click on one of their articles and read that story. I'm not just interested in just the details of the car itself or whatnot, but I'm also interested in the story of leading up to that, making a decision. The only thing I can say as a personal request is if it's a project that's unfinished, I will mention it if it catches my attention enough. But it's kind of hard to give features on stuff that's unfinished, just because of the fact that people change their minds all the time, and they tend you could part out or whatnot. So it's kind of hard for me to be able to convince people to go and follow this and watch what's going on there, if it's not already completed. If you have something that you're working on that you're not sure when you're going to finish or whatnot, I mean, still send it to me, and I'll make a mental note of it to track and follow. But it does help a lot. It goes a long ways if whatever project that you got to present is already done. Even me, I'm pretty bad with saying I'm going to do something and then doing something else and get rid of what I had. I sold 3 engines that I claimed that I was going to build before I finally settled on my B20V that I put in my sedan that eventually got stolen. So I never got to make a feature on my own shit. Alright guys, so thanks for watching, and I hope you guys are interested in this shit. Let me know. Even if it's something that's not finished, go ahead and send me the info on it or whatnot, and that'll be something I'll go over with you. Alright guys, peace.